Right guys, I'm going to be talking to you now about how you actually start to go about designing your workspace for the assignment. Okay, so how do you actually approach this? Well, first of all, I just want to show you a bit from the syllabus here. So this is just a print off from the official document that says this is what Essential Maths has to do. This is the kind of stuff that you've got to be doing, and it actually says what is regarded as complex. Okay, so basically, if you look at here, okay, we've got these things here. If we focus in on that, it says calculate areas of regular shapes, including triangles, squares, rectangles, parallelograms, and circles. Cool. Okay, that's awesome. But notice that's all it says. And you go to this next bit. It says calculate areas of regular shapes, including trapeziums and sectors, complex. Calculate areas of composite figures by decomposing them into regular shapes, complex. Okay, so this is what it means. If you just do that, that's worth a C. If you get into some of that, then if you do it right, it's worth an A. That's the thing that actually sets this apart. Okay, so what does that mean for the assignment? Well, let's just talk about the assignment for a second. All right, so what have you got to do? Okay, so you've got to design the workspace. Okay, it's got to be between 110 and 130 square meters in total footprint. So that is the total area of the whole shebang, okay? The total thing must have a range. It's got to be between 110 and 130. Okay. You also must have an enclosed internal section, e.g. an office, and you've got to find the area of this. Okay. All right. So, how do we go about this to fit that requirement, as well as setting you up to get an A? All right. So, the first thing I would suggest you do is don't launch straight into SketchUp or even a scale drawing. Instead, just start messing around with shapes. Okay. So let's play this game. Okay. So we want between 110 and 130 square meters. Well, what if I just went for 120 and see what happens there? Okay, big old rectangle, that's 12 by 10 meters. So we've got 12 meters there, 10 meters there, that's 120 square meters, cool. But then it said I needed enclosed internal section, and so you go, righto, maybe I'm going to have a door there, and here's the reception area. Boom. All right, so this is reception, and this is workshop. Maybe it's a mechanics workshop or something like that. All right, just stop and look at that for now. And you could say, oh, well, you know, I'm going to make this I don't know, 7 meters by 4 meters, you know, and that's my design and the way I go. Just look at what's there. The outside footprint is a big old rectangle. The reception is a smaller rectangle. That is C standard. Even if you do that perfectly, you can't get more than a C for the calculations involved with that, because you haven't done the more complex shapes. Okay? I mean, you're welcome to do that, but just letting you know, you can't get more than a C for that. All right, but what if you do this? I'm going to do a couple of different options here. What if I start off with 12 meters by 10 meters. Okay, so at the side here, yep, I've got 120 square meters. And I might say, well, you know, what if I just add a bit to the side like that? Maybe that's 2 by 8 Okay, so what's that? That's 16 square meters. That's now 136 square meters. Okay, well that's gone over. That's gone over my 130. So we're going to carve some off. So what if I did that? Just carve the chunk off there, and that would bring it back down, hopefully below 130. So if I went, let's see, 4 meters that way, 4 meters that way. Okay, so that's 4 by 4 divided by 2 because it's a triangle. Okay, that's 8 square meters. Okay, so subtracting 8 would be 128 square meters. Boom, it's now in that range. And look at that, I've got more complex things happening because I'm decomposing it into different shapes. Okay, that's one option. Here is another option. You start off with the U-Butte standard rectangle. Okay, that's going to be my floor plan, because let's face it, a lot of places are just but plain rectangles, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to get that that complexity, you might say, righto, I'm going to make my internal space. That's going to be the complex thing. So perhaps my office space does that. Okay. Oh gosh, that might be 3 that way, 4 that way, 3 that way, another 3 that way. Okay, that's not really going to work, but you get the picture, right? And maybe 4 that way. Okay, and so now I've got my reception area is going to be what I do in part 3 of the assignment, finding the internal area and doing all the area calculations there. That's where I'm going to get my complexity. Okay, either way, you can show off the complexity, and that's what you need to do. Okay, so my advice is to start with sketches and just get something down on paper in your notebook. It does not have to be to scale, because then you're going to, once you've done that, you're going to go and make it to scale later on. Okay, so that's how you go about it. Just to recap, that's C standard, there's 2 rectangles, sweet, you'll get the marks, you'll get a C. But if you want to go A standard, you've got to have more complexity there. Start off with a basic rectangle, then chop and change. Okay, and keep track of how the chop and changing goes. All right, off you go, get to it.